Would you like to feel the thrill of your body trembling, your heart racing, and your hands shaking like crazy? Then I would say bass fishing is for you. Hi, I'm Eli Zaneski, and like many of you, I have hobbies. One of my favorite hobbies is bass fishing. I've been bass fishing for as long as I can remember, and I absolutely love it. Back in 2023, I caught my personal best largemouth bass at 21 inches. I vividly remember my body trembling, my heart beating hard, and my hands shaking like crazy. The battle was long, hard, and intense. It was a bass fisherman's dream fight. And to help you get that same thrill, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about bass fishing. From largemouth to smallmouth bass. From what they look like, to what they eat, and where they live. Because like many bass fishermen, I believe that everybody should try bass fishing. And what better way to help you try bass fishing than by giving you some of the most critical information you need to know. And hopefully by the end, you'll be inspired and able to think of some steps you can take using the information you'll gain to get out there and start bass fishing. Let's start by identifying these fish. Largemouth bass look to be green, black, and white, with a characteristic black stripe down the middle of their body. Smallmouth bass look to be a mixture of brown and light green, with a white belly and black stripes running up and down their body. But something that really makes these fish shine is their mouth. Smallmouth bass have a mouth that opens in front of their eye. Compare that to largemouth bass, which has a mouth that opens behind its eye, giving it a larger mouth than the smallmouth bass, hence their names. These fish shine with their mouth because when they are hooked, they jump out of the water with their mouth wide open. It is a beautiful thing to see. Largemouth and smallmouth bass have different mouth sizes because of the food they like to eat. So let's talk about their food. Both bass like the same food. They just prefer different food sizes. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. In 1961, an article released by the Transactions of American Fishery Society says that the food preferred by largemouth bass are shiners, sunfish, white crappies, bullheads, and bullfrogs. Crayfish are also a food of choice, although less common. And on the smallmouth bass side of the food web, there is an article from 2011 released by the Journal of Freshwater Ecology that says that smallmouth bass love crayfish as they're the most frequent diet item chosen in the study. I must also note from experience that both of these fish love worms and insects. Like I said, the main difference between these guys is they just prefer different dimensions. Largemouths prefer thin and tall, hence larger mouth. Smallmouths prefer thin and lengthy, hence smaller mouth. So now that you know what these guys eat, let's talk about where they live. We can start with the 2003 article from the Transactions of American Fishery Society. It says that largemouth bass like vegetation and smallmouth bass love where it's rocky. And because both fish live at what is mostly the bottom of lakes, rivers, and streams, they also prefer the water temperature that can be found there. In a 2012 article released by the Journal of Great Lakes Research, it says that smallmouth bass prefer the temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and largemouth bass prefer 26 degrees Celsius. That's 71 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. These temperatures can be found anywhere from 5 to 50 feet or more in depth. These fish live in these areas because it's where they're most comfortable and where they can use their colors and patterns to both hide from predators and hunt their prey the best they possibly can. I really hope you found these fish interesting, and I hope that my breakdown of what these fish look like, what they like to eat, and where they like to live helped you gain some of the most critical information you need to know about bass fishing. I also hope that you're able to think of some steps you can take to enjoy the amazing activity that is bass fishing. Until then, I'll see you on the water.